Hey, it's your boy Memphis, and welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna try to see if we can beat Dark Souls 2 using only Hadoken. Now you might say, you can't do Hadoken in Dark Souls, you can only do it in Monster Hunter. And to that, my friend, I say that you are wrong, because you can actually do it in Dark Souls 2. You see, in each Souls game there is always a unique fist weapon with a unique move. And it happens that the special move of the Bone Fist is a Hadoken attack. The rules are simple, no glitches, and all use Hadoken once we get the weapon. Okay, so our weapon can only be obtained from the Ivory King DLC. Sadly though, the key to this DLC is located in Drang Lake Castle, which requires me to basically beat the whole game to get inside, by obtaining the 4 Great Souls. But because Dark Souls 2 is the most open in terms of progress, we have another way to get into the castle, that requires less bosses killed. We're still gonna kill some, and that is collecting 1 million souls. Once you get to 1 mil, you can enter the castle. So our first goal for this run is to obtain 1 million, with the least bosses killed. With that out of the way, let's finally start the run. We start the run by creating the perfect copy of Ryu. I still do not understand why Americans just persist at calling him Ryu instead of Ryu, and sometimes say Yakuza instead of Yakuza. Why? Anyway, I digress. I chose the bandit because the stats for this class are somewhat balanced, and our gift will be the bonfire aesthetic for later on. Once we are done with creating our character, we'll head straight to Majula, grab our Estus shard, and then talk to our maiden. After that, and as customary for every Dark Souls 2 run, we'll kill Moglin, because his armor gives us a substantial boost to our Souls game. And remember, we'll need every soul we can get. Then we'll head to the Forest of Giants and kill everything on our way there. We came here to spend 10,000 souls on the Hag Merchant. Once we do that, she'll reward us with the Silver Serpent Ring, +1, which also gives us a big increase to our souls gain. While we are here, we'll get invaded by the Pursuer, and we'll kill him. In this form, he's not counted as a boss, so we are still at 0 bosses killed. Once we get our souls boosters and our weapon, it's now time to start collecting souls. Alright, so this guy killed himself, so technically we are still at 0 bosses killed. What an idiot. After that, we'll kill this thief, for 2 reasons. 1, we need the souls. 2, she'll try to scam us later on, so let's get rid of her now. From there, we'll head to the shithole named No Man's Wharf and ring the bell, then avoid the angry residents. Then we'll kill the Flexile Sentry. This guy appears as a normal enemy later on, so technically he's not a boss. So we are still at 0 bosses killed. We came to the Lost Bastille for 2 reasons. Reason number 1, to kill this Pursuer, who is still not a boss, so 0 bosses killed. And reason number 2 is to get this bonfire aesthetic. And while we are here, let's kill another Pursuer. 0 bosses killed, bitch! From there, we'll head to Huntsman Copse. This is exactly why we killed that thief early on. Once we are in the copse, we'll mass slaughter a bunch of skeletons. Skeletons are a normal enemy, So technically we are still at 0 bosses killed. Yeah, baby! Once we enter Earthen Peak, we'll talk to Big Booba Lady to get another bonfire setting. Inside the Earthen Peak, we will absolutely destroy the poor covetous demon. Holy shit, what a poor guy. Anyway, this guy appears as an enemy later, so 0 bosses killed. After that, we will burn the poison windmill and then proceed to kill Mitha, the baneful queen. This not boss is both a snake and a lady, which can be found all over the world. So technically, 0 bosses killed. After that, we will take the elevator that made some people hate Dark Souls 2. At the end of this platforming puzzle, there are 3 bonfire static, which we obviously need for farming. The solution for this puzzle is getting wet. We can do that by breaking these jars or vases, and once we do that, we will sanic our way to the puzzle. This fire resistance doesn't last for long, so we'll need to risk it. But jumping in Dark Souls 2 is a bit clunky, so we need to be careful. Also, I don't know why I used the life gem instead of healing with an Estus flask. Force of habit, I guess. We'll skip Smelter Demon for now and head straight to the Old Iron King. Fittingly enough, this cow-looking demon will be the cow we'll milk for our souls until we get 1 million. Tres! Duo! Unos! Sadly, there is no nihil or nil, because after popping some boss souls, I finally managed to get 1 million. We go to the Shaded Woods, through the Shrine of Winter, and finally enter Dranglake Castle. Our lovely DLC key is right behind this, the first golem door on the right. And this key is a flower for some reason. We enter the beautiful lands of frozen Ilium Lois by going back to the Shrine of Winter. I love this place, man, it's so beautiful. I'll spare you from watching me fumble my way through this beautiful place and just show you the part where I take the eyes of the priestess. We need the eyes of the priestess so we can deal with Ava, the king's pet. I hate this guy, he's so annoying. But even though he is annoying, I managed to take him down without any problem. We go inside and talk to Elsa, so she can finally stop the Ice Age. You remember Ice Age, the movies? Okay, now it's time to get our weapon for real. We go back through the level once again until we reach this place. But instead of going to the right where the bonfire is, we will go straight ahead. In here we will find 4 braziers that we need to light up. Doing so will open this giant door. And right on the left side there's a hidden wall. You go through it and congratulations, you have your Bone Fist and your Hadoken. But before we start Hadoukening everyone's face, we will go back to the Forest of Giants to buy the Cestus or Cactus from the Hag Merchant. We need the Cestus for the power stance. The damage of the Hadouken is only affected by the Bone Fist, so the Cestus can be broken and our damage won't be affected at all. It's Hadokening time. Now we'll start going back to all the bosses we skipped, so we can finally kill them the proper way. Starting with the last giant. Up next on the Hadoken block is the old Dragon Slayer. Probably the most bullshit and confusing boss in the entire series. Next we'll head back to the Lost Bastille so we can deal with the Lost Sinner. Man, my rhymes are on point as always. Anyway, the Lost Sinner is the best waifu, don't at me or anything. Since the Hadoken attacks consumes a lot of stamina, basically the whole bar, I decided to go back to the Shaded Woods to get the Chloranthi Ring +1 for the stamina regeneration. Also, today I learned that the eyes of the priestess makes it possible to see the invisible guys in the Shaded Woods. Up next we'll be killing the Scorpion waifu, Nadika or Najika, aka the Superior Quailak. Yeah, hate me for it. The fight against Nadika made me realize that extra repair powder is needed. So we go back to Dranglake Castle and talk to Chancellor Williger, who sells an infinite supply of repair powder. Up next we'll go and kill the Prowling Magus and his congregation. Surprisingly, and I'm ashamed to say that, but this fight was kind of a pain in the ass. I don't know why, but it was annoying. After making our way through Shitstone Cove to Sildora, it's time to take care of the Duke's dear Freya. I'm not arachnophobe, but this boss is my least favorite boss in the game. I absolutely hate it. It's so goddamn annoying. Before we go and deal with the last Great Soul Holder, we will buy the cat ring, because I'm not gonna let Gilligan scam me. Here's a neat trick that you can do with the shockwave of the Hadoken to avoid breaking your equipment in, what's it called? The gutter. Now it's time for the Rotten. Here's a fun tip while we are dealing with this abomination. If you want to inflict maximum damage with the Hadoken, you need to be as close as possible to the boss. My theory is that the move has two hitboxes, one for the projectile itself and the other one for the explosion. Now that we've killed the final Great Soul boss, Aldia will appear for us, and from this point onward, we'll talk to him whenever he appears. With that taken care of, we'll go back to Dranglake Castle to beat the Mirror Knight, or I think he was called the Looking Glass Knight. Sadly, I couldn't get a real online player to spawn while fighting this. It would have been amazing, man. Man, we've been steamrolling all the bosses since we've got the Bone Fist. I really hope that Velstadt will prove to be a challenge. And he gets killed quite easily. Man, that was such a disappointment. Hopefully the DLC bosses will be a little bit tougher. Once Valstrax is defeated, we take the King's Ring and then haul ass to Aldia's Keep or Mansion. Inside the Aldia's Keep, we will fight the Guardian Dragon. This fight was such a pain in the ass. My damage was pretty high, and I could shred him pretty easily, but he kept flying and flying and flying just like a Legiana or a Rathalos. Marvelous. We make it through my favorite bridge in the series and talk to the ancient dragon, who I'm pretty sure before fighting him that I would need to use 20 repair powder or even 30 because of how much health he has. After obtaining the giant's kinship, we will go and fight the last giant once again. I really hope Dark Souls 2 gets a remake so I can fight a better version of this guy. And remember how I said that Velstadt was disappointingly easy? Well, his friend the Fume Knight wasn't having it. He was a monster. His damage, speed, aggression, and sometimes wonky hitboxes were fucking me up. But after persevering a little bit, and maybe upgrading my weapon, I managed to take him down. I think it took me like an hour or so to beat him, and because I hate myself, I decided to go to the Iron Passage. And because I skipped Smelter Demon early on, I'm gonna take on the Blue Smelter Demon. Oh my god, look at that damage. I spent most of this fight just healing and healing and healing. However, this fight was surprisingly easy. Yeah, it was long, but it was easy. I think it took 5 minutes on a single attempt. Well, not 5, maybe 4, I don't know. We'll save Post Malone for later, because now it's time to go to the Sunken King DLC. Man, I love the entrance to Shalva, because Sin is just chilling in there. Anyway, I digress again. Since this run was already too easy, I decided to make it easier by obtaining the Flynn's Ring. In case you don't know, this ring increases your damage when you have low equipment load. After getting the Flynn's Ring, we are going to try it on Ilana, the Squid Queen. This fight is another fight where you won't be dying a lot, but it's such a waste of time because she'll just summon shit. Also, Velstadt just came back with vengeance. Up next is Sin, the Slumbering Dragon. At first I thought that this fight was going to be a pain in the ass, because Sin has a corrosive hide that breaks your weapon when you attack him directly. But then I remember that I don't need to attack him directly, because of the nature of this run. Needless to say, he went down pretty easily. Now it's time for a boss that many people either forget exists or just prefer not to fight, because it's a very annoying one. But I'll admit that I find it a little bit enjoyable. I'm of course talking about the Gank Squad. Since these guys decided to not play by the rules, I decided to do the same thing and just cheese them. This is a trick that I learned from Yamfa or Yamfa, I don't know how to say it, when he was still young. For now we'll head back to the main game, because there are some bosses that we need to take care of, and because I need the salt. Starting with good old Vendrick. I mean Vendrick Lamar. Anyway, I collected the giant souls off screen, but to be honest, I really wanted to do this fight without using the giant souls. But I don't want to spend 15 years trying to kill him. After Vendrick, we'll go and take care of another fan favorite. I'm of course talking about the Ancient Dragon. I was expecting this fight to take 30 years to beat, but luckily it only took 5 years. Because this boss has the most limited moveset in Dark Souls 2. And the best thing about him is that he gives so much souls, which I need in the moment. Now we go back to Eliam Lois to fight the old Ivory King. This video may not show it, but believe me when I say that this guy was stupidly hard. Probably harder than Fume Knight. I didn't even bother collecting footage of him killing me. But you can tell by the appearance of my character wearing full heavy armor. Well, not full, but you get what I mean. I needed the poise to take care of this guy. And even then, with the poise and the defenses, he was still hard. Next, we'll go and take care of the final boss in the Ivory King DLC. And another fan favorite. I'm talking about Lod and Zalen. These guys are the reason why I went and killed Vendrick and the Ancient Dragon before returning to Eliam Lois. Because I needed the souls to have more damage and survivability. Because there is no way I'm going back to that fucking shithole called the Frigid Outskirts. No way. So I wanted to kill them on my first go, which luckily I managed to do with the skin of my teeth. Now that we've taken care of all the bosses, it's time to go back to Post Malone, whom I was so adamant at killing him without taking any damage to get him to do the seppuku or hirakiri or whatever it's called. I had to quit out so many times because this guy has even more janky hitboxes than Fume Knight. Like seriously, some hits were unfair. I dodged. I 100% dodged them. Anyway, after a lot of attempts, I managed to kill him without taking any damage, which made him commit suicide. Commit death. Now it's time for the final gauntlet of bosses, starting with the Throne Watcher and the Throne Defender. There's not a lot to say about these guys, except that you must kill them at the same time or they'll heal each other. So yeah, I don't know what to say. After defeating them, Nashandra will appear and be like, "Oh, thou didst well. It's time for you to rest," or some bullshit like that. Anyway, we kill her because she's a bitch and she's pretty easy actually. It was kinda sad. She got destroyed. After killing Nashandra, Aldia will appear and be like, "Oh, I given thee courtesy enough," or some bullshit like that. Anyway, the interesting part about this fight is that I thought because my attacks are from a distance, I'll be able to get past his fire aura. But turns out that his fire aura will reduce all the damage you can do to him, even from the Hadoken. But he wasn't hard at all, so I killed him pretty easily. Okay, and with that, the Hadoken run is finally over. My final thoughts on this challenge run is, to be honest, that the most interesting part of it was trying to get the weapon. After that, we just steamrolled everything. I feel bad for calling this a challenge run, to be honest. Except for Fume Knight and the Old Ivory King, and some other pain in the ass ones. Anyway, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, share, comment, ring the bell button, and everything in between. And yeah, I don't know, next video is an Elden Ring challenge run. So yeah, goodbye.